December 17th. Yes, we're sitting in with Chad and Carlos and Mel over at Power Play Press for some sprints, and it's officially all taken care of, everybody. Yesterday, Cody and I had quite a busy day, and we're starting to feel like we're getting back into some sense of normal. Finally. So let's go ahead and see what that sense of normal is a little bit looking like.
Up on the housetop, reindeer paws, out jumps good old Santa Claus, down through the chimney with lots of toys, all for the little ones' Christmas joy.
Welcome on back, everybody. My name is Jenna O'Malley. I am your soul writer, author of sci-fi fantasy with dashes of romance and nerdy references. Alongside the raw stories my characters weave throughout time and space, I help other soul bards get back to their absolute bardic phoenix mode in any way, shape, or form they need, whether it be through looking at developmental edits of their writing, or through content creation, or through coaching methods of any kind. I'm here to help. Go ahead and check out more about my services in the description box below. But today, I really just want to sit down and talk about everything that has kind of happened in the last year. A lot of good has happened in this last year. I mean, thank you, universe, for the unexpected. I gotta say that. So, 2023 in reflection. Are we starting to get back to a sense of normal? I don't think Cody and I found a routine that lasted more than a quarter this year. Now, mind you, some of that might be because my mindset is so quarter-based right now, thanks to Sarah Cannon's HB90 bootcamp system, and my mind is in quarter one, 2024, like solidifying plans, and I'm getting plans for the long term for the next 5 years in place for my business finally. And I'm just like, oh, a lot has happened. A lot has happened. I, as a Virgo, and he as a Capricorn, we love routines. We're earth elements. We like that grounded stability of some sort of semblance of a pattern, not on the daily, but at least on the weekly, to get through the week. And the last year has been a lot of up and down, but there's a couple of things that have happened that I'm like, the ups and downs were worth it. Learning flow state, appreciating flow state, learning ultimately to be more and more flexible, open, understanding. All of those things, in my opinion, were things that we worked on in various ways as a couple, as individuals, me and my business alone. That happened. And there's evidence of it now, obviously. I was not yet ready to move. I know why we had only the year we did there on a meta-cognitive, lifelong span, if you pull back from the single thread of the moment and look at the tapestry kind of deal. And I know that while we would have liked more time there, more of the epic, lovely, unexpected could very well be in the next year for us, for 2024. And I'm saying that as the recording timer hit 4 minutes and 44 seconds on the timer. And all I hear is Lisa of Little Forest Home saying, wishing number, wishing number. I said in 2022, dreams come true. I said this year, 2023, blessings be. Show me more in 2024. Was one of the ones I considered as my kind of mantra for the year. I've been doing this kind of hashtag for each year, inspired by Mama Maggie's Hold My Coffee, or Hold My Blank, as it's become for Mama Maggie. And if you aren't following Penumbra Mine, MM Ward, what are you doing with your life? Go say hi to Mama Maggie from me, please and thank you. I started doing a hashtag for each year, kind of like how everybody has been doing a word or a phrase or a song lyric kind of as their mantra for the year. Okay, the universe, you've made me very interested. Show me more. 2024. Show me how much better it's going to get. I keep telling Cody there's only going to be one way to fill the echo. Sorry for getting loud. There's going to be only one way to fill the echo in this house. And that's with a child. We have been hoping to make you a sibling. Little one. And with all the good that's gone on this year, we ended the year in a beautiful way yesterday, with new beginnings. Many of you have seen or even participated in the new beginnings all year long with me. You backed my Kickstarter in some way, shape, or form. If not with money, then by talking about it, sharing it out, mentioning it, supporting me through it with words, or a hug, or a like. That mattered to me. Still does. Especially as I'm doubting myself, should I even bother doing a second Kickstarter? And should I just throw it all out, rapid release, Amazon to wide, skip Ream, skip Kickstarter? Should I just do that? Am I just slowing down my progress by even bothering to use 2 other platforms? Is it worth it? And I keep looking back. In the end of the year review for HB90, Sarah gives you like 30 plus questions to go at this year at different angles. And the one thing that kept coming up the most was, my Kickstarter was funded in 24 hours. Did I shoot low because I was learning and sandboxing on the platform? Sure, but what's it going to do when I actually bring full game? I want these stories to get in the hands of the people who need their healing. I did not realize how much healing I was doing while writing them. Until a certain vampire decided in book 2 to disappear for a book I'm going to be writing next year that I didn't think I would write for years, called 6 Weeks But 3 Years. Explaining and covering what happens during book 2 of the Myrna Annals when Frey disappears for 6 weeks of time in our reality, but where he ends up, time there is actually he's there for 3 years. And the more I follow the healing that's going to take place through that book, the more I follow this group of siblings and their beloveds and their children and their loved ones into getting ready to write a full-blown season 2 about what happens, because they had some loose ends at the end of book 5 and they were just like, okay, bury the past and it'll stay silent. No, we know that never happens. If you watch anime and play video games, you know that never happens. There's always a sequel season when that happens. Always. It's like, if they don't do it, then you're mad because there's fodder for a sequel season. So as I'm getting ready to write 5 more books about not just the parents and the kids that you meet in books 1 through 5, but about kids that show up after and how they're affected, I'm just like, is it worth it? Is there another book in me that I'm putting off and silencing that needs to be out there more? I have Vitae Elangica, that's 3 books. I have Regolith's Relics, that's upwards of 12 books that I want to write. I have this really cool meta book I want to write years down the road that's kind of like a crossover of all my characters called The Day the Author Died. It will be the last book I ever write. It's like, I also want to write my memoir, Unschooling Soul Writer, and get that out there about what it's taking to be a teacher post 9/11 or even post 2008. You know, what is it like being a teacher who is neurodivergent? What is it like being a teacher who comes from poverty and who understands firsthand from these kids what it's like to hear your parents argue about, do we pay the bills or do we feed the kids this week? And it's like, there's so much in me and I just can't write it fast enough is my fear. Maybe that's the real fear. Maybe that's the real fear. Life is short. Life moves fast. Life has a lot more to show me, but how much more is there to show versus how much time is there really left? That's kind of the whole concept behind the book, the spin-off book I want to write with Frey. 6 weeks, but 3 years. You feel like you have 3 years, but sometimes you really only have 6 weeks. And how do you, at the end of the day, even in an immortal or a mortal life, come to terms with that? And that's what I've been really coming to terms with this past year, I think. Accepting that because life is short. Accepting that the past was the past, and so it doesn't need to poison a prosperous future. And healing, true healing, has begun. 2023 has been super, super testy this year. I mean, if you're into numerology, kind of like my math misunderstanding brain is starting to be, yeah, try to square that circle. Anyway, the year 2023 adds up to a 7, which 7's about spirituality, right? It's not just about luck, being a lady, good sir, and letting gentlemen see how good a lady you can be. If you know that song, you're welcome, you nerds. Fellow nerds. Anyway, it's about spirituality, and so tests kind of make sense in a way. I realized there's a lot that I have to offer and to give to the world. I want to keep encouraging other writers to tell their stories without shame, without worry, without feeling like they don't matter, because your words do. There's spells in spelling, and therefore, if you feel compelled to tell a story, it's for a reason. Whether it be for yourself, you may or may not realize that that story you're writing could very well be for others. Could very well be a story you start writing for yourself and be the one that the world needs to hear. So please, please be kind to yourself. The next 2 to 3 weeks are some of the hardest weeks of the entire year for some of us in various ways, okay? Some of us do not deal well with the holidays, either because of past trauma, either because it's a reminder of how left out or alone you feel, or in some of our cases, it's you wish you had a child to spend Christmas with, and you don't yet. Cody took me on a lovely date last night. I did an in-person signing at La Lune Metaphysical yesterday afternoon. It was enjoyable. JC, thank you for having me for a visit. I plan to do a proper walkthrough of the shop. I've been promising one for a while now, and I really do need to get back over there and give a proper walkthrough. I kind of am planning on doing a special episode of listening to the voices in our heads with JC as a local business owner. And, you know, what does it take to run a storefront? What does it take to build that kind of foot traffic? Because JC also does conventions, also does, you know, different kinds of vendor outlets, and how do you find those? And I think that kind of advice some authors and creatives who hang around my channel and business owners would be interested in hearing it. So I wanted to kind of make it like an in-shop special episode of listening to the voices in our heads. So if you really want to see that in Q1, do let me know in the comment box below. And please check out their Facebook page. Please go give them a follow. JC is doing amazing things. JC is actually upholding pagan standards in the community and is making the shop approachable for people who are not even pagan. Like, the people who walk into JC's shop are from all walks of life. You are welcome to kind of come and hang, as long, in my opinion, as long as you're bringing good energy to the shop. That's all that, you know, that's all that matters. And JC, thank you for being a beacon. Both you and your mom, Kathy, are beacons in our community, whether you intended to be or not. And you have inspired so many local small businesses owned by women. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. They've been a huge, huge help. And we would not have found them had we not moved to that apartment. I would not have found two ladies that I admire. I would not have found a community that locally that inspires the bejeebus out of me with their creativity and their mindsets had we not lived in that apartment for that year. Cody and I would not have done some of the videos we've done for this channel, I realize. Tomorrow night, I'm doing my first live in our new kitchen. I need to go, it's going to be tomorrow night for you guys because I'm recording this on Sunday. You're getting this on Monday. The live is Tuesday. I asked you guys for the celebration of 800 subs, which as of this moment, we are cruising towards 850. Thank you. Thank you. I had asked, what did you want to do to celebrate the live? You guys, ultimately, after multiple ties on it, making me giggle, picked cookies. And then after cookies, I'm like, okay, what do you want me to make? Please make a decision so I can go shopping. Please make a decision so I can go shopping on ingredients on Monday. Thank you. Because it keeps going back and forth between cutout sugar cookies and peanut butter chip with chocolate chip cookies. So double chip cookies. And I'm like, what do they want? Worst comes to worst, I could easily make both. Let's get real. Let's get real. So back to yesterday, kind of Frozen Island, like circling around through multiple stories here. It's fun. Anywho, after my signing yesterday at La Lune, Cody took me out to go see Christmas lights, and montage.
1, 2, 3, 4. Warm by the fireplace, held by its embrace. Presents below and mistletoe, joy from the holiday. I know what I'm wishing for this year. Maybe it will come on Santa's sleigh. It feels like Christmas with you. See my very wish come true. Christmas with you. Every year feels brand new. Snow falling down, lights all around, magic in every room. I know that dreams come true. Christmas with you.
So as you can see, we had quite the blast. It was quite the lovely little date night. And this farm, it's Springfield Farm, I believe, in Williamsport, Maryland. And they do this every year. It's the Festival of Trees, where local businesses and local persons can make a donation. And the donations go out to different entities. And you get to put these pretty trees in place. Each tree has a card of what business or foundation or person it's for and in memory of or in honor of. And they had a prayer tree there, and just some of the beautiful prayers written by people of all ages that were getting linked together and wrapped around this tree were truly, truly touching. And there was only one prayer that Cody and I could think to add. And it's one we ask for every Christmas. It's one we ask for every birthday. And that's for our next child to be here. Around back, you could get pictures with Santa and Mrs. Claus. And we were standing there talking with them a moment after. And Cody said, we're hoping that next year when we come see you, we'll have a baby. And Mrs. Claus said, you know, there was a lady here this year or last year who said this to this Santa and said, you're the same Santa that when my husband and I said that we were having a hard time conceiving, you prayed with us and they brought their baby for pictures. So they prayed over us for the same. And while he and I are not outwardly Christian, to see the power of prayer, which in my opinion, in and of itself, is a type of spell, because there's spells and spelling and words have power. In that positive vein of thought, prayer can be spellbinding in positive ways. They said, we sense your hurt. we can't take it away, but we can help give it to a power that can. And for those of you who do use prayer in that way, who do believe that words have power, that there's spells and spelling, and you're an author, thank you for the healing that you create every single day. Take care of yourself. You're always going to be worth it, and never forget it.